You could be creating amazing TPT resources and still getting very few sales. Not because your resources aren't good, but because teachers can't find them. So SEO might be the problem. After auditing and coaching many TPT stores, I keep seeing the same SEO mistakes again and again. Mistakes that seriously hurt your visibility. So today we are going to talk about 5 SEO mistakes that might be killing your traffic without you even realizing it. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sarah from Overthinker Teacher. After growing my store to the top 1% of sellers, I started coaching and auditing other TPT stores to help sellers identify exactly what's holding them back. And I noticed for a lot of them is SEO. So let's start with the first mistake I see sellers making all the time. And I've said these and I want to say this is one of the most important ones is you need to make market research. I see so many TPT sellers not doing their specific research for their products. They're just creating products just because they think they're going to be good, uploading it to find out that they are nowhere to be found. And I've been there in my starting, and it's the worst feeling when you spend so many hours creating your beautiful resources and you can't find them. It's horrible. I've been there. So, to avoid that, you need to make a list of all your beautiful ideas. So, I have in my phone, like in my notes, my TPT ideas. Every time something comes to my head, when I'm in the classroom, something that people tell me, something that other customers tell me, I just write it all down. And when it's time to create, I take my sweet time to research on TPT. And I start searching the keywords with different ways, right? Let's say I want to make a multiplication game, right? So maybe I'm not just gonna look for multiplication game. I'm obviously gonna start there, but I'm gonna start narrowing down my searches. Multiplication game for third grade or multiplication, I don't know, 2 digits. I'm not a math teacher, so I'm sorry. I'm just coming up with 2 digits with 2 digits, right? You start coming up with all those different terms until you see if you are going to be able to land on the first page in any of them. And like I always say, for you to know, you need to know if it's something that has high popularity. So you want to see that those first products have a lot of reviews, right? But you also want to see that you have a space for your product to show in the first page. One tip is to look at the amount of resources. I know, and I've heard some people saying, like, oh, I try to do anything that's less than 1,000. And sure, that'll give you a big opportunity, but I've been able to land in 3,000, 5,000. So honestly, is what you need to do is go down in the first page and see if there are products with 0 reviews. That means that you could land there, even though there's still products on the top that has a lot of reviews. Something too that is very important for you when you're doing this market research, I recommend you do incognito. So go in incognito because sometimes, if you do it in your platform, in your store, your username, the algorithm might favor certain things and it might not show the reality. So I always recommend just you can search it in your username and you can do a double check with incognito as well. And that mistake of not doing market research is huge because if you avoid it, you're going to stop creating resources that no one's going to find. You're going to find resources that you're going to create resources that teachers are going to find. And that same mistake, I actually want to take a little break right here because I want to talk about the new feature that was recently launched. And I'm going to make a whole video about it. But I want to say that use that in your favor. I honestly feel so grateful for this new tool that they provide us. I was actually part of the testing group and I got to test it before it even came out. And honestly, it was amazing to see that they're giving us more tools to help us grow. And when it comes to market research, something that I love about it is that sometimes I realize that there's so many terms that I never thought of and that teachers are actually finding my resources. So if you want, let's say you're making a product line or a similar product, I would recommend you, before you even think of any idea, go to that tool, click on the resource that you're trying to do another one like, and look at the terms that teachers are actually searching you for. And then look those up and see if you have any chance. Because again, that tool is very valuable. All right, let's go to mistake number 2. So the second mistake of SEO I see too much is over tagging too many grades. So I've seen these specifically a lot with special education, but honestly, I've seen it with classroom decor. I've seen it when we make way too general things. Like let's say it's like a main idea task cards, which is, can be used for different grades. I've seen that you tag way too many and that actually hurts SEO. It does not bueno for the algorithm. So my recommendation is always, if you are going to tag grades, because you must tag grades, my best advice is make resources specific to one grade. So for example, if you want to make a second grade, my recommendation is make a product just for second grade, and then a product just for third grade, a product for fourth grade. Now, there's some that you can kind of do like K through second, third through fifth, fourth through fifth, right? Six through eight. So as you can see, I'm saying 3 grades max, and like really four, but I don't really like four. Some of my best products are honestly just 2 grade levels. And I've seen not just the algorithm favoring that, but also teachers are feeling way more comfortable when they see a product that is more specific to their grade than something that can be used in multiple grades. And to those teachers that are, special education, an advice that I've always said is just create a couple versions for like K through second, third through fifth, right? Narrow it down a little bit more, because I understand that when you say that special educations, it's not like very tied to a grade. I've had products that I've only, let's say, put tag like fourth and fifth grade, and I've gotten tons of special education teachers said, "Oh, I use this with my sixth grade special education." But again, it was the teacher who found me through the fourth and fifth grade tag. And in that same note, I want to say that something very specific with grades that I've also noticed is that teachers are missing out something that's huge, and is that they forget to put the grade in the title. And honestly, almost every single product in my store has a grade title. Very few are very genetic that don't have a grade, and those were because they were able to land in a very not saturated place. But when you're working with a saturated keyword, let's say multiplication, right? You can't just say multiplication, right? You have to get specific even with the grade level. So let's say if it's third grade, I will put third grade, because I've also noticed people just put third, fourth, fifth. That's it. Help the algorithm even more. Put third, fourth, fifth grade, right? So that little tip, I'm telling you, is going to make a difference. Now, for mistake number 3, when we are making titles way too generic and too weak. Once again, you need to think and use that tool that I told you to look at what is your audience actually looking for. Sometimes we're so stuck in one specific keyword, and we keep making products with that keyword, and then actually that's not what teachers are looking for. Also, like, really, you when you create products, you have to pay attention so much to like what your teachers are leaving in your reviews. Like, for example, I've created this whole growing bundle of worksheets to use in the classroom. And the way I use them for centers, for morning work, right? And yeah, you could use them for sub plans, but I never thought about it, right? Then I started noticing a lot of teachers using it for that. And that was a keyword I never used. And the moment that I started using that keyword in my titles, I started getting even more sales. So really think about what other keywords are teachers looking for that you never thought they are, but they actually are using. And at the same time, notice in that new tool, how there's some keywords that you are so stuck on and that teachers are actually never using it. So you can actually use those characters for a keyword that makes more sense for your audience. And that also goes with seasonal, right? If you're doing seasonal products, don't just make it like, let's say, Halloween multiplication game. Be more specific. Halloween multiplication game, third, fourth, fifth grade, October. Because the month, let me tell you, month for TPT is so good. Like they help even more than actual holidays because I've noticed that. So make sure that when you're making seasonal, you do mention the season, like fall, winter, spring. You do mention the holiday, Halloween, Christmas, and you do mention the month that this is for. Um, and then sometimes you may find yourself in a very saturated place and something to get away from it. Let's say you created like a main idea worksheet and it's so saturated. You try main idea third grade, it's still saturated. It's just like it's so much, right? And these I'm saying for like products that maybe you didn't do product research and now you're like stuck with this product. Something to help it is try to think about when could I use in a classroom this activity? Maybe I can use it for subplans. Maybe I can use it for homework. Maybe I can use it for small group, for intervention, and look if you could rank for any of those. And maybe you could rank for main idea intervention, something that maybe is not as saturated as the general terms that I just mentioned. So you really need to make sure that you do your research, you use your tools, and you do what your audience is looking for. And now for mistake number 4, and it's not using your keyword strategic. Now, I don't know if you knew this little secret, but I'm about to reveal a very important secret. Your keywords that are in your title must be repeated again, all of them in your snippet. Your snippet is the first sentences of your description. And I'm going to give you a double secret, okay? Pick a couple of those words, maybe one or two, and repeat it twice. So let's say you're doing multiplication, is in your title, say multiplication twice in your first sentences. Now, all the keywords in your title, make sure that they are in those first sentences. Now, I must say, I don't mean copy the same exact title and put it exactly in the description. You have to make it naturally, right? So instead, let's say your title is multiplication third grade task cards. You're not gonna start like that. Maybe you're gonna say, get your students ready for test prep with this multiplication task cards, perfect for third grade, for small group. And there you start going for all more and more keywords that you did not have space in your title. So what I do when I do my market research, I make like a list of all the keywords that I will rank for. I start putting, in my description, I'm in my title, and obviously you get to that very stressful point in which you have no more characters and you wish you had, but you don't. So all those other leftover keywords, which I know are important, you are going to make sure you mention them throughout your description naturally, right? Use this for test prep, for intervention. This is great for April, during spring. This is great for spring break, so on and so forth. Also, something very important is that if you think SEO and the algorithm only reads your snippet, you're wrong. Because let me tell you that sometimes I've never thought that, let's say, what's included and the skills that are in the packet that are way more down in the description had nothing to do with the algorithm. And that actually changed entirely when I looked at this new tool that I'm telling you. Because I looked that teachers were searching, let's say, the word test prep wasn't even in my titles, and I was being found on that first page. And I was like, how did I even get that? And it's because I added it in my description. So be very mindful with everything you put in that description. Do not use the space to put things that are not necessary. And again, repeat those keywords that you put in your title in your snippet. And then lastly, for mistake number 5 is do not compete with yourself. And this is actually something that I recently learned, and I learned it the hard way. And it's the following: when you create products, maybe for the same season, maybe they're the same skill, right? You end up using the same keywords. And that is a big problem because you end up confusing the algorithm and then it kind of doesn't know what to prioritize. So let's say you have two music, I'm trying to think of other niches, okay? So let's say you have two music spring activity, right? And one is a task card and maybe the other one is a bundle, right? And they use the same exact keywords, just maybe a little bit. Maybe this one says bundle, maybe this one says activities. One of the two is going to show in that first page if you did your market research. The other one's going to be totally lost. And that is because the algorithm starts getting so confused that it doesn't know which one to prioritize. So, my best advice is make a list again of the keywords that you've used. And when you're making similar products, make sure you look for other keywords because then you're just trying to rank for the same, and you end up competing with yourself. Then the algorithm gets confused and then your resources don't get found. So, once again, all these 5 mistakes are things that are killing people's sales because if your products are amazing, they deserve to be on that first page. So, if you avoid these 5 mistakes, I promise you, it's going to make a difference. Now, I want to finish by saying do not ghost your resources. Once you upload them, you have to keep checking on them. I know TPT has a lot of tools. I know there's a lot of tools out there, or you can do a spreadsheet, but keep a constant checkup, maybe a month before. Like I like to check my best sellers for next month or the resources that are for next month to see where they're ranking, make sure that they're a good standing because you always want to make sure that your products are landing on that first page because new sellers are coming in, new products are coming in, and you may be dropping on that first page that you used to be so high up. That's why do not ghost your products. Always keep checking and avoid the mistakes that I said. If you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Thanks again for being here, and this is Overthinker Coaching.